I've taken the carb off. I've taken the CT intake off right here. And I've started to clean the intake, check for leaks. I've also had to take off the chrome pieces right here off the front drive face and the clutch, because these two little holes right here, they have to be done from underneath to put the new TAIDA intake on. Now remember in the last videos I said that my bike wasn't idling, so I was looking for a leak. I found the leak. I want to show you what it is. If I can get up here without jerking this camera too much. I've also taken off the race pipe here. I just love this pipe. I'd buy another one if I had a chance. I'd pay $1,000 for this if I could get another one. But I don't know. I'm not going to say what I paid for it. But if you want to make your stroker fly, this is top of the line right here. Top of the line. Okay. Anyway, I've set up something on the bench. I have a flashlight, and I have the original CT reed valve that was in the bike. I'm going to shine some light through the inlet and let you see if there's any leaks. Now on your reed valves, and I'll just use this for an example, it is a valve. It allows fuel and air to go through it but not pop back out. It's a one-way valve. The engine sucks the fuel through and it locks again. Okay. Now on this intake with these reed valves, with these reed pedals right here, you can see that one's chewed a little bit, but you can see the light shining through that little tiny hole right there. And there's also another little hole right over here. The edge of the reed valve, reed material, has been chewed a little bit. The problem with that is that Chinese reeds or Chinese plastic is not the best in the world. These look like carbon fiber. They're not. They're just cheap plastic that looks like carbon fiber. But you can have no leaks in your intake. If you do, your bike will not idle right. It will not accelerate right. It has to have so much fuel every time in the combustion stroke. So that is where my idle problem is, or was. Come on, come on, come on. Let's see if I can get the other. The edges of these plastic reed pedals, they have to fit over the reed block like this, and they have to fit perfectly and airtight. They just have to. These are the same way. This one is the same way. And we can see here where on these little reed pedals I have one that is okay on the left, and the one on the right, you can see it's starting to get chewed. That's just probably from all the high-speed riding I've done. What I want to do is I've adapted, this is a Boyson reed valve right here, which I handmade. These are about $50 or $60, and they originally come and they're about this size. And I had to adapt it down to a CT, and I'd like to find some Boyson reed valves that are like this that fit on the big TAIDA. Next thing I have to do is take off the clutch and the intake, not the intake, the variator. So I can be able to put on the new TAIDA. One problem I've had with these valves, and I don't know if this happened to anybody else, but you can see the these reed valve stays right here, these little steel stays right here. I have done this a few times where the bikes run beautifully and then crisp and everything's been perfect, and then all of a sudden it starts to run just not as crisp. And what I found is these little ends will break off and go into the motor. And then, so I stopped, in some cases I stopped using them here, and I stopped using them on this one here. But these reed springs really work well. I just would like to get a set that would not break off, because I don't know how badly it's hurting the motor. I know it's not helping it. So what I'm going to do with this TAIDA is it has, you can see it has the reed springs in it. They're just, they hold the pedals closed at high speed, and they do really well. These are a little different design right here. No, actually, these aren't springs. These are actual steel pedals, reed pedals. Okay. So every time if you take off your reed cage, if you have a idling problem, take out your reed valve and take a look at it. A lot of people don't do that. If you find any type of little holes or anything in the cage, then you need to redo them. They have to seal airtight on these. Another thing I'm going to do, I think, on the next few videos, I'm going to take this apart and take out the jet and write down the number on it. A lot of these carbs, a lot of their parts, especially their brass parts, all have numbers on them, and you can special order jets, and you can special order different things to fine-tune your carburetor for your riding style. You may have to, if you're adapting any of these carbs, you may have to take them off 10-15 times and fine-tune the adjustments on them for your riding style. And after I've done that, I've adapted this carburetor and this giant intake, CT intake, to the bike. Then what I'll do is I'll probably put on this electronic New York. It's a New York City. Let's see, it's been sitting here a while. New York City, and it says DIO50 right there. Problem with these directions are all in Chinese or Japanese, and I have no idea what they're saying. Anyway, that's the tip of the day: is to, if you have an idle problem, check your reed valves. Just take them out and look at them. A lot of people will look at these carburetors and go, "Oh my God, I can't touch them. You've got to be a NASA scientist to work on them." No, you don't. There are millions and millions of these carburetors out there. They are so simple. All they are is a metering device. That's all. They allow an engine to have 14 parts air to 1 part fuel. That is what they run optimally. And if you take off the bottom bowl, you can look at some of the parts. You can take off the top and the slide. You can see certain parts. These are all the same. These are completely different carburetors, different brands, different sizes, but they all work exactly the same. Simple. And when I first bought this bike, and I'll show you something here I was looking at. I got to go slow or else this camera is not going to work right. Oh. When I first bought this bike, I think it says 1983 down there somewhere. Anyway, all I did for the first 8 years was change the spark plug. That's all I knew about it. Until one day the belt went bad, because they do go bad after 8,000 miles. So I went and changed the belt, and I looked on the internet, and they had this little 70cc aluminum cylinder that you could buy, and it was cheaper than buying a brand new stock cylinder. So then I contacted VT Cycles out of Hawaii, and Steve Mantrice was so nice. He would send me pictures of different parts he had. I didn't know anything about him. I didn't know if I sent him money I'd get anything. And I've dealt with him for many, many years, and he's always had gold-plated service. So, and he sold me this pipe. He said, Randy, you got to check this out. I have this. I'm the authorized Fongier dealer out of for Hawaii. I believe something like that. Never been to Hawaii. But see, like, this is a Fongier speedometer. And he said, I'm the authorized dealer. I've got one of these pipes. What do you think? And I said, oh, that is beautiful. He goes, I know, but it's not cheap. I said, I don't care what it costs. I said, you give me a price, I'll send you the money, you send me the pipe. And I have many, many pipes. I have Fongier pipes. I had one really nice SEF black pipe that I traded back to Steve because he needed it for his little magic. And I kind of keep all my parts. But this pipe comes in, it looks just like this, but it has, I've seen a picture of it, they have a blue anodized colors, and it'd be perfect for my bike. And I'm going to see if I can find one, but as far as I know, on those type of pipes, is you get whatever is in stock. And I would suggest to anybody, if you have one of these little strokers and you want outrageous performance, buy one of these pipes. And if you're going to buy one from Steve Mantrice at VT Cycles Hawaii, or his eBay handle is Fast 2 Wheels. So it's fast, and then a 2, and then wheels. Or you can contact him and ask him, what he's got. And whatever, the guy's just solid gold service. I've dealt with him for years. Most of these racing parts, most of these racing pipes, just about everything I have for my little deal, I've got from him. Of course, I do go through other places to find certain things, but whenever I need new springs, I need new bearings, I need new racing things, I contact him, and he'll go, well, maybe I don't have it in stock, but I'll go and find it for you. Now, I don't know if he does that for everybody, but to me, that's gold-plated customer service. Anyway, thank you, Steve. Say hello to Keon if you want me. And we continue.